Hello, today we'll be talking about adenocarcinoma of the stomach. According to the Lawrence classification, the adenocarcinoma is divided into two types. It is basically on histology, intestinal type and diffuse type. The way I like to remember is that cluster and clutter. We'll make more sense of this after the explanation of the pathogenesis. Okay, I would first like to start with diffuse type. In diffuse type, there's a CDH1 mutation. So E cadherin is lost. The function of E cadherin is to keep two cells uh, tightly adhered to each other like this. But since it is lost, now these cells are free floating. So even when they infiltrate the gastric wall, they do so as a discohesive mass. That evokes a strong desmoplastic reaction. Desmoplastic reaction is nothing but abundant deposition of collagen. Desmoplastic reaction. The amount of stroma increases. Okay, that said, now I suppose you can make meaning of this clutter. Whereas in intestinal type, there are many mutations, but I would like to mention 2-3 mutations. APC, beta catenin pathway. There is a APC mutation which is required in beta catenin pathway. This I will be further explaining in adenocarcinoma sequence of the colorectal carcinoma. For now, let's remember it like this. There are also CDK2NA, BAX. If you remember, BAX is a anti-apoptotic gene or anti-apoptotic factor. Okay. Now, since these cells form glandular architecture, you can remember it as a cluster of tumor cells, in case of diffuse type. Okay, this was pathogenesis briefly. Okay, now let's move on to the gross. This is the intestinal type. What you can observe here is that these are the rugae, and these are the mucosal folds. This is the ulceration. This is the ulcer. Okay. Now you can notice that the mucosal folds are heaped up. The margins are heaped up, as in they are falling onto the ulcer. Okay, and this is important because I'll let you know in 1 minute. Just let me write it down. Yeah, there are heaped up margins. Now this is another mucosal defect. This is another defect in the mucosal wall or the continuation. How is this different from the earlier one? Here you can see that it's like a punched out lesion, as if someone has removed a scoop of the mucosa instead of a scoop of ice cream. The mucosa has been very neatly removed. It is invaginating, if you might say so. So then these are called as punched out margins. These are characteristically seen in peptic ulcer disease. As you can see, this is the base of the ulcer. Which is not very necrotic. It is because of peptic digestion of the contents of the ulcer. Okay, now talking about the third gross of diffuse cell. These are the Rogier folds again. These are the normal Rogier. Okay. Now this is the gastric wall, which has increased in size. I hope you are able to appreciate it. Yeah. And this is because of a abundant desmoplastic reaction to the tumor infiltration. This is called as Linitis plastica or leather bottle appearance. Okay, all these images have been taken from Robbins. Okay, now let's talk about the histology. As the name suggests, where are the histological images? Yeah. As the name suggests, now again, as the name suggests, in the intestinal type, we'll see glandular architecture, glands resembling the intestinal glands. This is the intestinal type. This is diffuse type. I would like to again start with diffuse. You can notice a cell here, and this is another cell. These are called as signet cells, signet ring cell. These cells are so abundantly filled with mucin that the nucleus is pushed to the periphery. All the cytoplasm is expanded by the mucin. All this is mucin. So these are called as signet ring cell. This is also called as signet ring cell adenocarcinoma. Okay. Now again, you can notice here that it is forming a gland. Not a very clean one, but yeah, this is forming a gland. This is one gland. This would be the lumen, which is filled with mucin. So all these glands are mucin secreting. Now, I would briefly like to touch upon some high yield clinical features. I'll be talking about few metastases. Now, if the tumor cells metastasize to the left supraclavicular, 2 left supraclavicular lymph node. That lymph node is called as Virchow's lymph node, Virchow's sign or node, if you might say so. Okay. If it metastasizes to the periumbilical lymph nodes, periumbilical lymph nodes, it is called as Sister Mary Joseph nodule. Okay, it could also metastasize to the ovaries, which is then called as Krokenberg's tumor. It can also metastasize to the pouch of Douglas, etc. Thank you.